morning, Grinders. Welcome to the DFS pregame show here on RotoGrinders. I'm Jordan Cooper, a.k.a. Blender Ed, Blender HD. If you want to follow me on Twitter. And it's Wednesday, August 9th. And not much going on today. So I'm going to leave it up to the YouTube chat. If you hear, hit those thumbs. Give me those thumbs ups in the morning. It wakes me up, right? I got up early, and then I got up really early, and then I ended up taking a little nap, and now I'm here. But obviously, give me those thumbs. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the notification bell to know when we go live. If you got any questions, submit them to the show. Questions at theoryofdfs.com. What does Chase Simmons in the chat? The early birds. I mean, people are going on vacation. It's the dog days of summer, right? MLB. We're almost done. We're almost done with MLB. I guess some people play in September. I don't really play that much in September with all the call-ups and everything. And then you got NFL back. I focus more on NFL. But the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about, transitioning over from MLB to NFL. Some primer stuff. If you got any NFL questions, feel free. We'll be going over some of the tools here at RotoGrinders, how to use Lineup HQ for NFL showdown, stuff like that. But today kind of a light day. It's hump day. So are we gonna hump? Are we gonna hump people? Let's hump. We may not have anything else to do. Maybe we'll take a look at the early slate. We have a 3-game MLB slate coming up. We got a 3-gamer. We got the Marlins Reds at 12:35, the Rockies Brewers at 2:10, and 3:37 Rangers Athletics. Should we just look at the early slate? We could see the 3-game Draftkings slate if you want to talk about stuff. See what's going on. Maybe clean some things. I got the bat projections loaded up. Right? Looks like maybe nothing absurdly chalky. I mean, you got like 3 big totals, right? You got the Reds. Well, Reds and Marlins both have a big total. Then you have the Brewers. And then you have the Rangers against Austin Pruitt and Freddie Tarnick. Who are those people? Who's Freddie Tarnick? I have no idea. And then you got Chris Flexen on the mound. You got, oh boy, what a choice in pitching today. I guess chalk Jordan Montgomery. Is that how much is Jordan Montgomery? 10K. 10K Jordan Montgomery. When Jordan Montgomery, Adrian Hauser, and Johnny Cueto is that the chalk today on this slate? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Jordan Montgomery, Adrian Hauser. What could go wrong? 3-game slate, obviously playing large field GPP. You're gonna build that Montgomery Hauser lineup with Cincinnati and Colorado and Milwaukee stacks and Texas. You're going to run into a hell of a lot of ownership. I mean, obviously, if you're just thinking before you even look at projections, Montgomery's going to be 60? We have the bat projections has it at 69% projected owned. Hauser at 49% projected owned. I mean, the obvious play on a 3-game slate is to stack. And you don't even have to do 5-man, but even 4 against one of them, like one or the other, right? Now the bat has Hauser's pitch count at 104. I think that's a little high, right? I mean, over base, right? 94 is the base. You also have Montgomery pretty high, also, right? They're just assuming that they're going to do very well. But what happens if that's not the case? So that means, if you don't play Montgomery, do you play the A's with a 3 implied run total? Or do you play the Rockies with a 3.5 implied run total? On the road, I think I'm more likely to play against Hauser. You think Hauser's more likely to get into trouble? The Rockies are awful. But the Rockies did decently against Miley yesterday, or the bullpen at least. Right? I mean, they're cheap. Profar, Tovar, McMahon, Jones, Montero, Toglia, Doyle, Castro wins. What a lineup, Colorado. What a lineup. Yeah, I think I'd be more inclined to go against Hauser. Let's see what the projections look like for Colorado versus well, Ryan McMahon may actually be owned, and Nolan Jones may be owned. Is that only because there's nothing available at third base? What else is available at third base? Not much. Spencer Steer, Jake Berger from Miami. Right. Let's just run. Well, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run some lineups. Just to take a look see. Right. Just to take a look see. I'm gonna just run a 5x lineup with a bunch of stacks. What, 20%, 20, just so we get a whole bunch of them. Build rules. I don't care. Salary, I don't care about. Unique players, who care? I mean, like, we're just looking. We're just looking. True range, randomness. I just want to look. 10 to 100. Just see what comes up. Right. Okay. I don't want to play against. Okay. Obviously, you can on this type of slate. I just want to try them with the batters against opposing pitchers 0. So you're not playing any. You're not playing Hauser and McMahon. Although you can. It's a 3-game slate. I'd like to avoid it if possible, but let's see. But I want to take a look. So I'm going to build 100 lineups on a 5x configuration, just to see what the Rocky stacks project like versus the A stacks. If we're going to take the natural kind of direct leverage route, we're going to take the natural direct leverage route. Which one projects better according to the bat? I mean, obviously you get a lot of Milwaukee, a lot of Texas, you get a lot of them. 110.34 would be when Miami, 5-3 Miami, Milwaukee, Montgomery Hauser lineup. 301% total ownership. That's insane. Ridiculous. Right? But I mean, these are going to be the chalky lineups. So let's take a look. So the Miami lineups, 110, Milwaukee 108 as a 5-man, Cincinnati 106, Texas 104, Colorado 99, and it looks like the A's don't even come up at all. So that should be a sign. If we're going to do a direct leverage, I think we do it with Colorado. Right? So let's I mean, just talking through. This is just thought process. We're playing like single entry. I wasn't even planning. Let's see what's because obviously anytime I do this on the show, I'm going to play. So what I'm looking on my phone to see what it's easier than looking on the screen. What contests do we have on this early slate? Tournaments. Oh, okay. We got the 121. So why don't we play the 121? Okay. 5K to first. Right. I'm gonna make a dummy lineup to get that in because I'm gonna put it in after the show. Insert create a lineup. Right, create a lineup, and we're gonna do it. Montgomery, open Hauser. I mean, I'm just putting in just random players because I will change this out. We're not gonna play injured players. That guy's not in. Make sure we have a Jake Berger. Who cares? Ellie Dela Cruz, Leody Tavares, Profar. Who knows? Garcia. There. Okay, it's in. I just want to be able to play in the 121. There you go. Enter the 121. Enter in the $15 relay throw, just in case. Also, I had the $5 chin music. Put it in there. Just making one lineup. Yeah, we're good. Not $141. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it, people. Doing it in real time. Doing it kind of old school style, just using lineup HQ. I'm not using the theory of DFS tools. Because you could go with the advanced tools, custom Excel tools, and the advanced players course. Theoryofdfs.com. I mean, I could do a lot of this stuff much quicker and much more accurately with the portfolio trimmer and the tools that James McCool has provided in the Theory of Daily Fantasy Sports for Advanced Players with his Excel tools. So go pick that up. Theoryofdfs.com. But yeah, so I mean, my natural inclination is on these types of slates is to I stack at least 4. Doesn't have to be 5 against one of the 2 chalkier pitchers. And the other pitcher, it seems like if I don't get Hauser, I get Cueto, Tarnick at 12%. How many pitches is he going to pitch? What do we have at Tarnick? So even on the board, Tarnick, 65, 57, 65. He's the projected long reliever for Oakland against Texas. I mean, he's cheap. I don't know if we're going to need that. The thing is, I don't know if we're going to need the money anyway. Right? I don't know. Okay, so if we're deciding, okay, Colorado, we're going to stack Colorado against Hauser. I think that's the best. I know he's a ground ball. I know Cheese says he's a ground ball pitcher. Little power risk against this low power Colorado lineup. I know, but we're against Jordan Montgomery. I mean, I'll leave it to the chat. I mean, would you prefer the Athletics? Imagine playing these guys. They have more power. Yeah, you're right. They do have more power. They're playing at home. Not the greatest ballpark. Three implied run total. Yeah. Why am I playing a 3 implied run total team? Yeah. I'll play the Rockies against Hauser. I mean, obviously, you could just go, okay, Montgomery, Hauser, and then and then find some way of getting different. But I like the direct path. I like to know if half the field has Hauser, anytime the Rockies do well, I mean, half those lineups are as mine go up also. So I don't have to be perfect. If Hauser gets hit, the Rockies score 5-6 runs, I could win. I don't need like a ridiculous amount, especially at these prices. So yeah, let's go with the Rockies. Okay, so now I'm going to go back since we've already decided that. I've decided that. I'm going to take out Hauser, right? Because we don't need him anymore. We're probably going to play Montgomery then, right? Obviously. We're going to play Colorado stacks. So I'm going to play 100% Colorado stacks in a 4 whatever arrangement. It could be even 4-1-1-1-1. It could even be that. It's a 3-game slate. So I'm perfectly fine, just getting rid, just 100% Colorado. Either 5x or 4x. And whatever comes out, comes out. Right? Let's look 50. Let's look 50-50. 5x, 4x. Although I'd be more inclined to do a 4-4, 4-3, 4-2. I mean, it's only 6 teams on the slate. Naturally, it's going to be very hard for me to get a 4-1-1-1-1 lineup, right? It's going to be quite hard when there's what? Other than I can't play like Montgomery, the team that out of the 6 teams, if I'm not playing a batter against an opposing pitcher, that means I only have 4 teams to choose from. And one of them I'm already playing, the Rockies, right? So 4x, right? Okay. Now we're going to also, just to see the difference, just get a little diversity, little randomness. Just a little, just a touch. Right? Pitcher randomness, we could put 20%. Hitter randomness. I mean, we could even do do we need that much pitcher randomness? We don't even need even less. Just only so there's a variety of lineups. That's all I'm really getting here. I don't even need the team level randomness. All right, maybe yeah, do that. Team 10, 10, 15, that's fine. Salary, I literally don't care about. Like if I'm leaving 4,000 on the table, I think that's fine on this slate. Although I'd much rather play a much better one-off. Ellie De La Cruz is a one-off or something like that. So we got our stacks. We got our pools. We got our everything. How many lineups do you want to run? Let's run 100 just to see. Let's take a look. Take a look-see. Mamba says, do you have a promo to try out Lineup HQ? Could I follow along and try out? Well, all I know is that if you click on the link in the description, you get $10 off your first month. You get everything. You get combo premium. You get the whole shebang. Lineup HQ with all the projections for everything. Right. So you're getting the ownership projection. You're getting the player projections. You're getting the Cheese's musings. You get all the content. You get all access to the Discord and my premium channel. You get everything. $10 off your first month. That's the only thing that I know. Is there other promos? I have no idea. Okay, so we got 100.21. I mean, what is like the odd, like if we play like a cash line, 105, according to the bat projections as of 11/10/57. So I don't mind giving up a one swing of the bat type of. I mean, dude, we could give up a lot of projection, especially if we're correlating. Okay, so we're getting a lot of Cueto. Okay, so as far as pitchers are concerned, we're getting Cueto, Tarnick, Ashcroft, barely any flexing. So we're getting Cueto, Montgomery, we're getting 180. And so now I'm taking a look at like kind of ownership levels, right? 100 to 254, right? On the bottom, 97. I mean, this is just the 100 lineups with 2v2s. 96, 96, 95. Yeah, some of the ownership doesn't go down all that much. So I want to cut out. This is something I would normally do in the portfolio trimmer. I'm going to cut out of these 100 lineups. I want to cut out the lineups that are lower projected than their ownership. Which means as the ownership goes down, you see between these two lineups. This lineup is slightly higher owned than this, but it's slightly lower projected. So I just want to I'll get rid of it. Right? So I just go down. 100 lineups, it's not that long. You can do this manually. In the portfolio trimmer, it's part of the Theory of DFS tools, theoryofdfs.com. Like you could do this in like 3 seconds. Well, by the time you cut and paste and everything, maybe a grand total of like 15 seconds. Cut, paste, open, cut, press a button and you're done. Okay, so get rid of this. 244. So let's see. 244. We need to beat 242. 242. Can we get a lineup that's lower owned than 242? 242. 241. Here's a 241. Gotta beat 241. 241.23. Okay, that's lower. 241. Because I don't want to play lineups that are going to be like 3-4 points lower mean projected. If I have a choice of one, I'm playing one lineup. So if I have a choice between a lineup that's 240% total owned at like 98 mean projection, or one that's 240% owned at 94 mean projection, why am I giving up 4 mean points for there's no ownership sum at decrease at all? Mamba asked, "Do you have anything there with Cincy in Colorado?" I don't know. Like I said, I'm. This is none of this is based on me like, dude. None of this is based on sports or anything. That's the numbers are the numbers. Once you convert player names into numbers, you don't have to. I don't care about any of the. Who's Ezekiel Tovar? It doesn't matter. You play Cincinnati? I don't know. How they project? That's why you have projections. 240, 240.48. So we're going to beat 240, 240, 240, 234, 234, 230, 222. Okay, we're getting there. 222. Now we're going to start getting rid of a lot of lineups. Anything that's not 222, 222. And obviously, we still have lineups to come in. I mean, these numbers are going to change ownership-wise, depending on, this guy's not in the lineup. Who knows? I mean, we're still waiting on a bunch. I mean, look, this game's not till 2, and this game's not till 3. So, by 12:35, quite possibly you don't even have the Rangers Athletics lineup at all. That's why we're going to put this together, and maybe the Rockies lineup is different. The Rockies lineup is awful. But the A's lineup is it's awful also. Right? Okay, so 222 we got to beat. 222. Is this exciting? To just delete lineups and just watch me do this? 222. So much more exciting if I could just use the portfolio trimmer. But I wasn't planning on doing this, so I don't have that open. I'd rather show you the concept manually, right? So you don't just think that it's some magic button in an Excel document. It doesn't do anything other than this. It's not telling you, oh, it knows exactly the lineups that are great, and it gets rid of the ones that are bad. The ones that we're getting rid of in between may still be good. May still be fine. But if you just were to compare it on an ownership versus projection standpoint, the other lineups would be slightly better. So if you have the option between this lineup A and lineup B, and one is slightly better, I'll probably take the slightly better one. Okay, 214, but the projection's going down. 214. All right, we're going to go even lower in projection. 214, 214. See, normally I do this for 300 or 600 or something. So doing this manually is going to be spending 10, 15 minutes just doing this. 216, 214. That's why a tool is much more time efficient if you're going to do something like this. It's a blunt methodology as it is. 208. Okay, so we're down. We're down to 11 lineups, right? All right, what we got Cueto and not all of them. Tarnik, we got Tarnik in 2. Tarnik in 2's that guy. Mom is asking, are you trying to get 222 in ownership or projected score? No. I'm trying to eliminate lineups that are lower projected and higher owned. Why would you play a lineup, Mamba? I'm trying to teach you. Let's say you have a lineup. I'm going to make an exaggerated example. Let's say you have a lineup that has a mean projection of 150. And it's owned at 8,000%. Then you have another lineup that's 150, and it's owned at 1%. They both have a mean, their range of outcomes is exactly the same. Well, you'd play the one that's 1% owned because why do you want to share points with everyone else? I could get the same amount of mean points from this lineup, and no one has these players, versus this points that, and if that does well, everyone has them. So now let's change it to 150 points, 8,000% ownership. Second lineup, 149 points at 1% ownership. You'd still want, oh, well, you're giving up one mean point. Sure, yes. The second lineup has a lower mean projection, but it's also owned 8,000% less. So you're willing to sacrifice that one mean point to be so much less owned. So that's what I'm doing here. Out of the set of lineups that I've created, since I'm only choosing one, right, or three, or if I like a small set, it's like, okay, I want to get it down to lineups. If I had to choose between two, I'm going to look and go, well, if this lineup is lower projected, why I don't want to play it if it's going to be higher owned. That's the point. So we're down to about 11 lineups. So the top lineup here is a 4-man Rockies, 2 Marlins, Bully Adames, and Mitch Garver. Okay, we got it. We actually got, okay, the lineup's going to change. We're going to have to do this again. Right? Or I'm going to have to do this after the show because we got a Rockies lineup. All right, so Profar, Tovar, McMahon, Jones, Tugley, because Cole Tucker's in there, and who's not in there? And the order is different. So what do we got? What was in here originally? Colorado. So originally it was Profar, Tovar, McMahon, Jones. So Montero's not in. So Tugley moves up. Castro is then moves up another spot. So it's not that different. But he's still got Cole Tucker in there. That needs to be projected. Brendan Rodgers wasn't expected to be in the lineup. Right? I mean, I have it right here. So, yeah. Typically, the battle picked this up I mean, the lineup H, the plate IQ projections should be updated in like 3 or 4 minutes, and the bat will be a couple of minutes after that. So we may not get to it. I'm not going to just sit here and wait. We have plenty of people watching the show. Go, oh, what are we going to do? Just sit here and wait? Let's go. Let's go through. Let's act as if. Let's act as if that Cole Tucker is not going to project well enough to even be in these lineups. So let's pretend. So I would look at these 11 lineups and go, what do I want? We got obviously got the we got 5 hitter stacks, right? We got 4 hitter stacks. They're both fine. Right? They're both fine. I mean, I don't take a look at the lowest projected lineups. I mean, it's the lineup that gives up like, I mean, you're not losing that. I mean, you're not dropping that much ownership. Tarnik, Montgomery, Steve, so you're basically getting the Reds in here. Because basically, if you get the Reds in here, you can't play Cueto, obviously, because Cueto is on the Marlins. Tarnik is facing the Rangers. Am I getting any Rangers in any of my lineups other than Garver? Player exposures. Semien one lineup, Seager in one lineup, right, as a one-off. I mean, what do these Tarnik lineups even look like? To play, you're essentially playing, or I mean, on this slate, I mean, it's quite possible all these pitchers get hit. That, you know, playing a reliever, long reliever may not be that bad. Like, what do you get up to? Like, you get this low projected lineup here. Here's a 48-4 lineup. Soler, Contreras. I mean, essentially, you're playing Chalk Contreras, Chalk Soler. You already have Chalky McMahon in there because he's part of your stack. You're playing Montgomery. That's what this Tarnik lineup looks like. I'm not a big fan of playing, you know, the Chalk. I mean, Chalk catcher can't be that bad. I'm taking a look at like the one-offs. Like, I'd much rather play William Adames as a one-off, I think. But I mean, what catchers would I be playing? I guess Garver. How much more owned is Contreras to Garver? I mean, now I'm getting into these are things you may not even be worth even thinking about. Like, obviously Contreras is going to be 5K as a catcher. Right. So Garver's will be a little less owned. Then we take a look at the shortstop position. McLean, Adames, Dela Cruz, a little bit more spread out at shortstop. Third base, I have McMahon. Outfield, Chisholm. You're gonna get Chisholm, Soler. You're gonna get a lot of Marlins. So basically, Marlins in the outfield are going to be popular. Brewers at catcher, but maybe not Brewers in the outfield. So let's take a look at lineups that may not have that exact. Like, I'd like you take a look here. Like Cueto, Montgomery, you got the Colorado stack, but you're essentially just jamming in Chalk. I mean, Adames is going to be the second highest owned shortstop. Chisholm and Soler will be popular, right? So I almost want to avoid that. I mean, I can't avoid all the Chalk, right? I'm not a big fan of, like, if Chisholm and Soler both do well, I think the Marlins stack ends up outperforming the Rockies stack. And if these are going to be two of the more popular players, like, I play one of them, but if I play two of them, I'd just rather have the whole thing. Obviously, we're dealing with 3-game slates. This is a 10-game slate. The ownership wouldn't be, like, ridiculous. Patrick Johnson, where do you draw the line? Chalk ownership for cash game. There's no, dude, you're playing all the chalk. For instance, today in Seager, would you fade since we know the batter will be you're playing cash games. You know what you do in cash games? I'll show you the cash game process. Go to your projections, press this button. Play that lineup. You're done. You're just playing the highest mean projected lineup. That's it. If your cash game process is more than that, then I don't know what you're doing. Right, your cash game. This is your cash. I'm literally showing it. Maybe you aggregate projections. Maybe you use a different set of projections. Play the highest mean projected lineup that you have. End of story. Cash games done. You should be spending like 20 times more time like finding like no badge players in the lobby and finding the right contest to play. But at the end of the day, your cash game process should be, what are your projections? Press a button. That's it. That's obviously with players that are in when the projections are updated. I'm just going through my thought process of like on a 3-game slate, using a little bit of game theory of like, I don't want 2 Marlins in the lineup. Like this, I may not mind. Well, you still have Garcia and Soler in here. But Garcia will be less owned. This isn't horrible. Right? You get Jones, Tovar, Toglia, Contreras, McClain. I mean, you're still playing chalky-ish guys. You have Tarnik in the lineup. Let's go to the next one. Contreras, Adames, Soler. So chalk, and a 5-man. I mean, you could. This would be fine because you're playing a 5-man Colorado stack. You're spending $50,000. This isn't within the realm of possibility. Obviously, Castro's projection is going to come up a little bit. Let's see. We have Jake Berger, Corey Seager. Like, this may be a little bit better. Doyle, Jones, McMahon, Toglia. Right? You have Garcia as a one-off. Contreras. Garcia and Berger together at the bottom of the order. But Berger's going to be chalky also. Is it doable? Yes, I guess we could do it. Berger, Soler, Montessario, Monasterio. That's how you pronounce it. Contreras. I mean, you're still going to run into time because obviously you're going to have to play decently projected players. You can't play Montero, obviously. So this is gone. Montero. Brian Dela Cruz and Soler. 1, 2, 3, 4 with Contreras. I mean, these are okay. I mean, obviously, in order to get your projection up, you're going to need to play some of the higher projected players. So as far as like Soler is going to be projected very well. Profar, Doyle, McMahon, Toglia wins. So you're not playing. You're not playing anywhere close to the chalk catcher. Semien, Adames. So like this fits me a little bit more. Play Semien. Yeah, this fits me a lot more. I don't mind eating the chalk on Soler when I'm playing a 5-man Rocky stack and playing, a 3% owned catcher and not Contreras or anything like that. This ain't bad. This is my style. This is totally my style. Right? Let's take a look. Tarnik, 93 projected point. Yeah. I could give up that, but 95.62. Optimal is 105. As of now, obviously, I need to update this for the Rockies projections. But yeah, this is how I would think about it on a 3-game slate, which I think 3-game slates are more like art form, strategic type of thing. How do I get up to first place the quickest? Right? The easiest way is to just, there's 2 50+% owned pitchers. Well, stack against one of them. It doesn't mean a 5-man stack, but just play someone else. That's the easiest path. If you pick the wrong one, so be it. There's always tomorrow. But yeah, as of right now, I don't mind this lineup. Right, you're playing the bottom of the order. I mean, I'm going to have to run projections afterwards once the Colorado lineup is updated in the bat. But yeah, I'd be looking at something like this. Unless, hey, if you're like, hey, I'm going to stack Oakland against Montgomery. Well, you do the same process. It'd be the same thing. Be like, oh, well, I don't mind playing Freddie Tarnik projected long reliever instead of Cueto because I want to play Spencer Steele and Ellie De La Cruz or TJ Friedel or something like that. You want to okay, that's fine also. All of those things are fine. It's just going to be much harder if you're going to go, I'm going to play Montgomery. I'm going to play Montgomery and Hauser, and I'm going to play Soler, and I'm going to play Milwaukee, Miami lineups. It's like good luck sharing points with so many people. Like you can get different, but it's much tougher. The way that I do it here is like either I'm going to come in first or I'm going to come in last. Yay, that's it. I mean, when you come in first, you come in first. There's not going to be many Rocky stacks on a 3-game slate. Right, this is obviously for GPP. For cash games, you wouldn't. Cash games, press the optimize button. You're done. Even if you're using different projections, doesn't matter. Whatever projections you use, you can aggregate them in Lineup HQ. If you have your own projections, if you have projections from another site, you could put them in, you could load them in, you could also weight them, weight the ownership, weight the fantasy points, median projection. You could do that in Lineup HQ. So you don't even need to use Excel to even do that on your own. We'll do it for you. If you want access to this type of stuff, click on that link in the description, get $10 off your first month. RotoGrinders.com/premium. Join me in the Discord. I have my own channel, Blender's Game Theory. You can ask me anything there. That's always the best place to go. That's my priority inbox is Blender's Game Theory channel in the RotoGrinders Discord. And I do, coaching sessions there, group coaching sessions like twice a month. You can join in on that. But if you want to learn more about, these concepts, just a simple leverage. We were just talking essentially about leverage, correlation, projection, the 3 levers of DFS. You can learn all about it in a more structured way. Obviously, you could watch back at this time. I've been doing this show for 2.5, 3 years, whatever. Feel free to watch 700 hours of content. You get all in one place. Theoryofdfs.com. Theory of Daily Fantasy Sports. How to think like a professional DFS player. So go check that out. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door. But yes, I entered. I don't know if I'm gonna play this lineup specifically that I picked out because I'll have to run it again with the new Rockies lineup. But yes, I will be playing a 4 or 5 man Rocky stack, and I will hopefully not be playing 2 Marlins or 2 Brewers in my lineup. Right? I'm looking to avoid that because the Marlins and the Brewers are going to be chalky. The more you add, if those 2 do well, it's more likely the other 3 do well. I'm looking to beat those lineups. So I think that's why I'm looking at this lineup and go, I only have 1 Marlin. I only have 1 Brewer. I have a 5-man Rocky stack. I spent $50,000, 95 mean projection. And just YOLO, hope for the best. Hope for the best. I hope for the best for you. Unless you're in my contest. Don't play this lineup in the 121. I don't want to get duped. Don't dupe me with this lineup. I'm not sure if anything's going to change. Castro's projection should actually come up a little, so maybe it will. Because he's up to instead of batting 8th, he's batting 6th. And I think Tucker's only 2K. So I don't know how the bat's going to project him, but you never know. Maybe I'll have him over Doyle. Who knows? But essentially I'm rooting against Hauser today. I think that's kind of the key. And then we know what's going to end up happening. The A's put up 10 runs on Montgomery. And if I did the other thing, it would have been glorious. But that's the way. Welcome to DFS. That's what you do. So hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Hit the notification bell to know when we go live. Maybe we'll do this again. Is there an early slate tomorrow? If you got any questions, send them in. Questions at theoryofdfs.com. I cover them on the show. Because that's what I do here. Answer your DFS strategy questions. Monday through Friday, 11 o'clock Eastern. On the DFS pregame show. On RotoGrinders.com.